Okay, so I guess technically this is like a part two to the whole pick label stuff. But this time I kind of want to start to talk about how I'm going to go about modifying the XML that is produced by the printer program. So in this case, since I'm going to be working with pick labels, my print file is that MWS438PF. Um, and I've just got a regular customer order, not a distribution order. That'll come later on. But I've got just a regular customer order. I've already released the initial pick list for it, which then would have produced my pick labels. Just to kind of set up my scenario here, I'm going to use MWS420 to be printing copies of this as I'm doing it. I don't actually care what the PDF or physical printout is at this point. I'm more concerned with what can I do with the XML file. So to be viewing the XML, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here and like print a copy. I'm going to pop into MNS270. I have filtered it down to my name, the printer file, date and time. Going to do a refresh here. And so I just hit the print copy button. And I've now got one that is sitting here in the work status. So this is an actual print job being generated. And if I go and look and related in view, I got the brings up the browse. I can then go and click on this job number, choose select, and it is going to now go and pop up and show me the XML. So my service ID is that M3 IDM XML. We're not going to mess with that right now. But the field I'm looking at here is this report layout being the M3 standard report. And I think it's the structure. So the first thing I want to do is go and basically make a copy of the standard label. I'm going to pop into CMS006 because that is where it lives. Print file is MWS438PF. I think it's probably really good practice not to go and mess with the standard ones. Um, so I'm going to start by making a copy of it. I'm going to right click on this because I want to deal with this variant here. Going to go and choose copy, and it wants me to give it a new XML structure name. I'm just going to call it BWL underscore 01 dash 01. And I am pretty much just going to next my way through this whole thing here. I could probably go and change the description. Maybe I'll change the description and call it BWL picking list. Okay, next. Once again, it's going to kind of accept for now all of the default entries. I don't want to go and mess around too much with that. Okay, and if I refresh my screen, I've now got this XML structure one here. So that is one step I have to do. So if I were to go here and regenerate this copy here, we're going to see that it's going to still be using the M3 standard one. Hit refresh a couple of times. Hit refresh a couple of times. Yeah, there the file is there right now. And if I go and look at the XML output, we're going to see that it is still the M3 standard. So we want to change that. So we've got CMS006 done. I am now going to pop into CMS025, which is the new report layout. So once again, I'm going to go and copy the M3 standard report layout, and I'm just going to call it BWL underscore 01 dash 01. Next. And we'll change the same thing here, description BWL. What I want to change here this time is instead of using the M3 standard XML structure, we will use the new one that we made called BWL. I think if I were to hit the little drop down here, it would let me go and actually pick that out. So yeah, hit the next button, and we have now gone and created our own report layout. Now the next thing we need to do is go into MNS210, which is the report layout selection, and we will flip down to the MWS438PF, and this time we'll actually tell it, instead of using the M3 standard report layout, we will use that new one that we just made, BWL underscore 01 dash 01. Hit enter, save that. I can close out of this. I can close out of that. I can pop back over here. And this time, if I choose print copy and I go back and look at my output, we'll refresh and I should see, yeah, there is the new job and work status. And if I take a peek at its output, this time we should see that the label service is still M3 IDM XML perfect, but this time we are using report layout BWL and structure BWL. So that has now set us up that we can go and begin to modify the XML structure, and it's going to be modifying the copy that we made versus the M3 standard. And so we can make some changes and then begin to see how that affects it. Um, so yeah, that's this part. And in the next part, we'll actually begin by making a few simple modifications.